right now, David just gone down and turned on the bulb loads in the power electronics lab. So right now we have a linear load connected, and these are the waveforms that we are seeing for this linear load. Now, how does this work here? The linear load is a linear load means a purely resistive load. So the current has to be sinusoidal, and that's exactly what we see here. We have different waveforms here. These are the voltage waveform, the current waveform, the harmonics of the particular signal, the voltage and the current. And also we do see a list of values here. The first is the voltage THD, that's the harmonic distortion that's present in the signal. Then we also have a specific voltage specific harmonic. That's also the signal to noise disturbance ratio that's calculated in dB. And also the RMS value of the voltage or current. And similarly, we have all of these values calculated for the current as well. And these are the power readings here. The power factor, active, reactive in the parent part. And we also have the event detection, like I said, the SAG swell part, wherein we classify the different events occurring. So, right now, we have it in the interruption state because so the value of the voltage right now is 1.7 volts. So like I said, that's less than 23 volts. So what we have here is an interruption. So we have the interruption boolean blowing up and the time for which it glows. So right now, the first 6 seconds classify as the instantaneous, the first 3 seconds, I'm sorry. Then when it goes on to anything more than 30 seconds, it becomes a momentary interruption. And if it goes beyond a minute's time, it becomes a sustained interruption. So right now, since 30 seconds have surpassed, we have a momentary interruption. And once this goes beyond a minute's time, it will blow up as a sustained interruption. And this is for a bulb load. That's the we have 3 for 150 watt incandescent bulbs going right now below. So now we have a combination of the bulb and a laptop. It's just a combination of a linear load and a non-linear load that are combined together. So what we have right now is we see that the current changed from the sinusoidal one to having spikes in it. So we can see these spikes here, and earlier the current was just like that, now it's become like this because of the particular spikes which are actually brought in by the non-linear components. And any laptop or the CFLs that we use, it's a non-linear mode, it's not purely resistive. So it brings in these non-linear components that introduce these kind of effects in the signal. So we can see that here. And right now we see the current THD is approximately 13.2%. So now we've turned on one bulb load. So we see that the THD is increasing. It was at 13, it's come to 19 now. So now the bulb load has been completely turned off, and all we have connected right now is basically a laptop load, which is a non-linear load. And so we see these exact spikes coming up here, and the current THD has shot up to 165%. That's way above the normal that it's supposed to be. The general standards go up to only about 20%. The current THD that's limit that is allowed is just 20%. The cause of concern for us. And now what we can go ahead and do is to suggest measures as to how this THD can be brought down. We need to bring this down to the limits because the value of this THD shooting up is actually affecting our systems. We may not know it now, but every day when we go to our office, we just turn on our laptops and we just go ahead with our work. But then every day as this THD increases, it's actually affecting the performance of the computer as well because it's affecting the system parameters. So here we see the harmonics that have come in at the fundamental frequency, the third harmonic, odd harmonics. I have verified these values against those of the flute and Yokogawa, and they've come up to be fine.